What is up, YouTube, and welcome to this Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. video. So if you're new to the channel, please do drop a like, please do subscribe down below, and please do hit that bell button to get notifications so you never miss a video. So Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. here this week it very much felt like a bit of a kind of a flatline episode after the last couple of episodes, which were very, very high paced, very action, very huge on the reveals. That's not to say this episode didn't have huge reveals. I'm just saying that there wasn't too much action except maybe just one fight scene at the end of the episode. But this episode I really, really, really did enjoy. This slow episode felt better than most of the other slow episodes of any other TV show, because really there are huge stakes at hand here. Obviously, this episode was a lot different, where the group were incredibly split. Obviously, we've got Daisy with Cassius. We have got as well Mac and Yo-Yo. They are off on some adventure for Grill, and we've also got May with Deke, or with Coulson as well. So May, Coulson, and Deke are off on their own separate adventure. So I really did like the split nature of this episode, to be honest. We got to see a lot more of the lighthouse. We got to see a lot more of the mysteries of this season than we have done before, because really they could split up and things like that. It seems like they're trying to cover as much ground as possible in this episode, because really we've got a big episode next week, going by the promo, but more on that later. But this episode was cool. We kind of really learn more about what Cassius wants, and he is simply here just for the Inhumans, and he just wants to kind of create these Inhumans to fight to the death and create all the kind of like a gladiatorial thing and things like that. So that's pretty cool as well. I'm hoping that they reveal that the Kree were actually the creators of the Inhumans at some point. I expect that he probably learned about the destruction of Earth and maybe had some inside knowledge about what they had created way in the past. So he's just there, and he's not this benevolent dude at all. He's simply there just to create these Inhumans so he can sell and make a lot of money and hopefully get some respect, which I expect that he really desperately wants, because, well, we saw the woman who... It's unsure as to who that woman actually is. It's kind of weird seeing a humanoid person and not really... It's just weird when you see humans who aren't humans. But he's done her over. He has done her over. He's got Quake, the Destroyer of Worlds. If she is actually the Destroyer of Worlds, which makes no sense at all, to be honest. It doesn't really I just find it really weird that they've made Daisy this big kind of villain, and they seem to be really doubling down on the fact that she was the one who destroyed this. And we've got the prophecy as well, and the mysteries in this are just extreme throughout. And we've got Mac, and he's still reeling from everything that he's had done so far. It was a very tough mission for him, as he thought he wanted to go and shake someone down, and he kind of, well, he has to. Yo-Yo's like, the world isn't as black and white as you think it is, but it turns out that it's a family who have a kid, and they are raising this child and things like that, and, well, that child will probably turn into or be used for an experiment on Inhumans, or probably sold on later. But I guess at least this family gets some sort of, you know, normality in human life. So Mac then realizes the error of his ways, and this really does tie in nicely to the storyline that May and Coulson have with Deke, where they learn that humans aren't really born, they're now grown. And, well, I guess that's something to do with maybe radiation from the Earth's core or something like that. I would highly expect that's probably what is causing this. But it was a really kind of touching episode here, and in my video last night I spoke about Mac possibly leaving the group. I think this is kind of the start of him having a lot of trouble and kind of not really having kind of a connection with the rest of them, and he just wants to, you know, sit down and you know, relax and get back to a normal life, because, well, he lost his fake child inside the framework, which would obviously feel incredibly real, wouldn't it? So he's not having a great time. But we have May and Coulson on this adventure with Deke, who is incredibly cannot be trusted, and he reveals that his father is down there on the surface. So it seems like possibly when Cassius turned up, he got rid of all the people who were smart, clever, the kind of the doctors, the scientists, maybe the politicians perhaps, and things like that. And he sent them down to the Earth, the kind of the Earth's crust, the Earth's surface. And his father has maybe created something there on the Earth, and he's got some sort of base there, and they're expecting this prophecy to come through. And I think that Deke is playing the long game, and he's working with Cassius to learn if there's any way he can survive on the Earth. And he's kind of behind his father, even though he kind of hints towards that he actually isn't. So that's pretty cool there as well. Maybe his whole family are down there on the Earth's surface as well. And so there's a lot going on there. So the surface is something which we haven't really explored yet. But I expect one of them might actually turn up there very, very soon. Now the question is May still alive? Because she was actually killed. She was attacked by Cassius' assassin kind of right-hand lady, right-hand Cree, and she attacks her, and then they kind of, she falls to the ground, and we never really see what's happened to her. Next minute we see Deke with Coulson. Coulson hilariously punches him again, which we have incredibly funny humour actually used again when Deke was like, oh, we're fighting now, okay, that's what we're doing. And, well, is May dead? No, she's probably not. She's probably not dead whatsoever. But I think she may be in a very bad place, and I would predict that May is probably the one they would send down to the surface, just because she's had so much go wrong for her, 100%. Now, next up, the next episode, we have actually got a Fitz special. So Fitz was one of the bidders at the end of this episode, and he revealed himself. And, well, the question is, he knows what's coming in the future. Does he believe this? Does he think that this is all true when he says that she needs to fight to the death? So will they actually fight to the death, or will it simply be a case of Fitz doing a kind of bait and switch? And I expect some of these Inhumans to actually turn on the Kree as well, and Cassius' time is pretty much over. But Hunter is returning next episode as well. So that he's actually returning, and it's going to show what happened to Fitz just after the kind of the events of the end of last season when they were taken, and the start of this season. So it's going to see him actually captured by some sort of military force, and what is going to happen is that he's going to have to be broken out by his lawyer Hunter. So that means Bobby Morse might be actually coming up as well, which I am super excited about, because I really did like Hunter and Morse. Those two together were really, really cool, and it's going to be fun seeing Fitz have to kind of escape this base and then somehow get to the future, because we actually see him speaking to the dude that we saw at the start of this season, the guy who actually sent them to space and in the future. So we're going to learn a lot more. I think next episode we're going to learn a lot more about where they are, what's happening, and we see the Zephyr 1 in space as well. So that's really, really cool. So I'm excited. It was a good episode. Hopefully we get some more answers to these really kind of niggling little mysteries. But that is it for this video. Please drop a like. Please subscribe. And I'll see you soon. Goodbye.